Tonight's broadcast is about to begin. Thank you for joining us on Cedar Creek Media.
This is J.D. Byrd. You are listening to Maybank Sports here on Cedar Creek Media.
It's showtime!
And hello, soccer fans. Welcome into the broadcast today between the Henderson Cavalry FC and the Allegiance Academy. It looks like, as always, JD, my timing is impeccable. As soon as I turn it on, it's time for the national anthem, so let's go ahead and send it down that way.
Today's lineup for your Henderson County Cavalry: number 31, Chris Martinez; number 33, Isaiah Bourgeon; 32, Alan De La Torre; number 22, Isaac Rodriguez; number 20, Victor Campa; number 6, Brian Mata; number 7, Kevin Sanchez; number 30, Jose Campa; number 10, Javier Leonor; 16, Yael Sandoval; and number 9, Joel Garcia.
All right, bring you back here into the booth. Just about time to get this one kicked off. We got a good one here today, JD. This is a battle for second place. I did some digging today, like the professional I should be, and wanted to make sure I got the conference right. So it is the UPSL Division 1, which we knew, but it is the Texas North Blue Conference. So within the Texas North Blue Conference right now, the Henderson Cavalry and the Allegiance Academy, which it's just, soccer's a little different for me, man. There's not there's not like a Dragons at the end or something, you know what I mean? So it's just Allegiance Academy. They are locked in for second place right now. Now, Henderson has the slight edge in the fact that they have a 4-1 record. Allegiance only 3-1, and they have both lost to the same opponent, the Dallas Dragons. So Allegiance has got a strong defense now. They have scored 18 goals, only allowed 3, whereas Henderson has scored a little bit more, 19 goals, so 1 more to be exact, but they have given up 8. So going to need to play some tough defense today against the Allegiance Academy, which from now on I'll just be saying Allegiance. But here we go, underway, half number 1. And Allegiance is, of course, it's customary, going to start out with the ball. And the first pass that they have is almost going to end up out of bounds, but able to fly in from the end there and save it there is Academy. I said Allegiance, and then I immediately say Academy, but you know, interchangeable. Looks like we're going to have a quick foul here. That looks like, is that Kempa? Yeah, it is. That's number 30, Jose Kempa. Looked like he caught some spikes to the ankle. A little slow on the get up, but looks like he's going to be all right. So here we go. To restart it all is going to be Javier Lenore. I think. Well, it might be Mata. Let's see. They're both kind of set up next to it. It is. Okay, they go for the shot on goal. I think trying to have options there. Lenore goes ahead and foots it. It was a good shot trying to bend into the corner. Just doesn't quite find the area it needs. So Academy going to play it from their own end here. A lot of pressure there quickly by Sandoval pushing up, and we've seen him do that a lot this year. He is very good at being very pesky back on the back end. Matter of fact, look, he was sharking up there right there. The old Sandoval Shark. That's what, I like giving out nicknames, so there we go. That's what we're going to call it. So kind of a quick rush there for Academy at the goal, but kicked out, cleared by the Cavalry. So going to be at about midfield. Going to be a toss in here for Academy. Looking for somewhere to go, find some space, but immediately going to be taken away. So that's a nice play there. Especially already playing back in your own end, be able to take the ball away quickly. Going to send it back to Martinez, the goalkeeper, to start out the night, of course. Academy trying to find an angle to attack from. Cavalry doing a pretty good job of staying swarming on the ball. It's going to end up all the way back with Martinez, and he's just going to kind of light tap it out. Cavalry going to play that far side of the field, try and find somewhere to go with it. Nice little pass to the sideline, but just a little touch there for Sanchez. Not able to control it there. Was running full speed and not quite able to set it down, keep it where he wanted it. It ends up rolling out of bounds on him. So now Academy going to go back on the attack here. Deep pass, looking for somebody to get there. They've got some speed, but Martinez is going to be able to come up, cover the ball. Going to bowl it out here to the side. That is Victor Campa down on that end. So you got both the Campas rolling around. They're Campa and out together, you know what I mean? And, that was a good try there from Jose, as we're mentioning the Campas. So it was a good run at it, but just not quite able to keep it in bounds. But I have to check on that microphone. Seems like it's still doing weird things over there. I don't know what the problem is with those things, but we'll get it figured out. Just doesn't like this room for some reason. It always
Just
does
not
this
a
in this
fan.
room. So Academy, again, just kind of playing it back around the defense here. Not wanting to press too much here in the early going. And as we said, it seems like one of their hallmarks is defensive play, only allowing 3 goals so far this year. So crossing it back here to midfield. Now they're going to send it to the far side. Look for another crosser. It's going to be able to pick it up. Going to go on the attack, and a big fight tossed down there. No flags no penalties on either side. So a little bit of rough play. Looks like there's going to be maybe a warning. Yeah, so a warning assessed down there, but nothing too serious. So Martinez kicks it off again. Now playing it all the way back here to the 4 side. Now Cavalry going to try their own deep pass, a little too deep, trying to find Sandoval back there in a pocket. Somebody catching the side rail over there on 175. Heard all the way through the microphone. So again, Academy not really trying to press too much out of this defense right now. Again, I think they feel pretty solid about their back line here. So more than happy to kind of just play it around back there, not too discomfortable playing in their own space. Now that pass is going to be a little bit deep, but again, we just saw right there, maybe one of the reasons why their defense is so good is automatically have somebody that just seems to be there. Every time the ball is there, Academy seems to have somebody there in contention for it. I'm passing it back to the goalkeeper here. Going to send a forward pass. Good job there by Academy just to be able to scoop it up. Ball ends up high in the air. I believe they're going to say off of the Cavalry. Oh, no. They're going to say off of Academy there. So toss in. Couldn't quite see who it went to, but Lenore is in the area. Looks like that might be Mata. Mata down there fighting. Sandoval able to poke it away. Now a little move. Trying to get it back into the inside, and Allegiance just going to be able to cover it up. So got a little scary there for Allegiance Academy, but they did play it well, able to thwart the danger, move it on past back into the Cavalry side of the field. Now Cavs trying to find somewhere to go with it. Lenore going to send it out towards the sideline. Now moving, not at a brisk pace, but at a methodical pace, I would say, down the field with the Cavs. Now it is poked away. Now Sandoval might have a run at it and not quite able to get over there in time. I think he saw it just a half a second late. Now he's going to, again, Sandoval, but it seems like every time you want to say something about what he's doing, he's already on to doing something else you got to mention. Doesn't give us much time to get to it, but I can promise you down there, Yael Sandoval is making a big difference here in this early going, making Allegiance Academy think about it. Now, again, just kind of playing near that midfield area, looking for somewhere to cross to. Have to send it back to the goalkeeper. Now I'm going to try this front side of the field. Cavs going to fall back into defensive area. Had both Campas trying to march in there. Ends up poking it away. Now Martinez going to have to run out from in front of goal, but able to capture it pretty non-dramatically there. Now you got De La Torre sending it well down. Sandoval trying to get down in time, but just a little strong on the pass. It was a good thought. Sandoval was sitting down there by himself, almost cherry picking with just, again, a little too much mustard, but when you're sending a ball, you know, whatever that is, 80 yards downfield, it's amazing how precise these guys can be, you know. If I try and send a ball 80 yards downfield, knowing the way that usually the ball comes off my foot, probably end up over in about the softball field over there.
Yep.
Well, let me not give myself that distance. Let's go baseball field because it would go straight sideways. If we're being real with each other. On the toss in there, Academy is just going to kind of nudge it right back out of bounds. So Victor Campa on the toss in. Sends over to Isaac Rodriguez. Rodriguez trying to find somewhere to go with it. Got it to De La Torre. Now going to send right back to Campa. Right back to De La Torre. Now he's going to try and move the ball forward. Good find. Lenore fighting for it, but Academy going to be able to wrestle it away from him. It was a pretty good first touch there, but Academy was just there waiting. Now you got the takeaway. Joel Garcia. Was there a whistle? I didn't see him. I guess so. I didn't hear it and I didn't see anything, but that is what it is, so. Academy, again, just feel real comfortable passing back and forth in that back line. They ended up trying to send it forward. Cavalry were able to wrestle it away, but front pass going to be knocked into the opposing stands there by Academy. My eyes aren't great on my best day. I can't quite see all the way across to see who that was on the throw-in. The ball does end up in the hand or in the possession of the Cavs. Now, it's kind of a off shot, but somehow Cavs able to save it back behind the goal. I think that was, that was Jose Campa able to run it down over there. Now Victor with it sends over to Jose. Jose trying to find some space, sends over back and forth. Nice little one touch there from Garcia. And going to be a penalty. I don't think it was offsides. It possibly could have been. Strike there from Academy is going to be just too strong and end up out of bounds. It's going to be another toss in here. Throw went into Mata. He just sent it right back to from whence it came. Nice little move there by Garcia trying to get around. Takes some contact, didn't like it, wanted a call, but does not get it. Now Academy, just a couple of one touches back and forth to each other here. Now it seems like they're going to attack more with that front line of theirs. Now they got to run at it, shot on goal, and a goal. So first goal of the night is going to go to the Allegiance Academy. That'll put our guys in a hole here early going. But, you know, we've seen that quite a bit throughout the year. A few times we've seen these guys play. It's been kind of like that. But one thing we've always seen from them, they seem to fight back every time. Always make it interesting. Even in that one loss that we saw against the Dragons, they fought hard, just weren't able to come back there in the end after getting down a few goals. So on the restart here, Cavs in possession, trying to find somewhere to go. Academy going to come take it away, but a lot of contact, and Lenore just kind of stood there like, yeah, I know. That was definitely a lot of contact. He didn't even ask for the call. He just looked right at the ref and got the agreement there. So De La Torre going to send it back in. That is Campo trying to run it down in the corner, and just not enough. He was able to get to it in time, but unfortunately the ball was kind of in an awkward spot. Couldn't get it up off of his foot back behind him. So Academy will take back over here. But going to be deep in their own territory, so going to have to be careful on this throw-in. They're going to try and toss it back deep. Victor Campa is going to win the fight there. Sends it all the way back to Rodriguez. Now, I was trying to move there to the inside was Bourillon, but ball ended up being kicked out of bounds, so it looks like he's going to be the man throwing it in over on the side. One little tap on the head there from Lenore. Was trying to move it in there to Sandoval, or excuse me, not Sandoval, Sanchez. And pass just, it looked like it kind of hit off the back of his head where he was trying to hit it more off the forehead there and just kind of spittered in a different way than he wanted it to go. But, oh, no, they're going to say it was off of Academy. I didn't see the second touch. So it's going to be a corner kick here for the Cavs. Kick is in, and it was a real good-looking shot there. It was a nice bend right in front of the goal, but just not quite able to capitalize on the beautiful corner kick there. So going to have to go back to the drawing board here on the attack. Going to be just a little short tap here. They're going to try and make Sandoval run around a bit. Now this guy's got some speed going up the field quickly and a lot of contact between both players. I think it was mutual contact. Guy from Academy started kind of leaning his weight in on the Cavs player there. Sorry about that. Had to handle something real quick. All right, so right back on. Ooh, a lot of contact there. Garcia ended up on the ground and looked like he got hooked there by one of the academy guys. So going to go back on the restart here. Down on the far side, Campa gets back in. Fight for the ball here. So, again, Garcia having to do a lot of running here in the last minute or two. Now Academy with it. Campa up, challenging. Good pressure here. Hey, they able to get it away. Sandoval trying to go in. Now right back over to Jose. Jose with it. Now kick inside. Lenore with it. Touches over. Campa with it. Trying to dive in and just was going for the swing on the shot right there, but Allegiance able to step in front and kind of disrupt the shot timing. Ended up not being able to get much power on it. But, again, we've seen before that once the Cavalry start getting going, start getting that pressure on goal, they really have a ability to break that dam and make it work out for them. So keep watching out for that. Academy now moving it back around again there. Defense. Now it looks like Garcia is actually going to come up and help challenge Sandoval. Sandoval able to wreck it or just come in. Goalkeeper was not paying attention, and Sandoval, again, just sharking back there. Able to step in front and smash in the equalizer. And it's become a tradition. Yael Sandoval putting goals in nets. And again, equalizer here in the first half. You can always count on an exciting play whenever Yael Sandoval is involved in the mix, JD.
Yeah, he's just a really smart guy that, understands his positioning on the field and the impact that he needs to play to be able to help his team succeed. And right there, you just saw it. That was just a breakdown mental mistake there from the goalkeeper and just a taken opportunity by Mr. Sandoval.
Yeah, that's one thing he is not going to do, is he's not going to let one of those free opportunities like that pass him by, at least not very often. So Sandoval with the score, and we're going to call it the 27th minute because I didn't exactly look over exactly at the time, so that's what we're going to say. An Academy, I wonder if they're going to think more of this strategy of passing it around on their back line. It looks like they are feeling a little bit more pressure back there and wanting to move the ball out. Good pressure over there by Lenore, staying big. Academy was able to get out of it, but Lenore really taking the space of a couple of different guys there. Again, passing around on the back line. Now going to try and send a big pass up front. Again, got some speed, but Campa going to be able to chase him down. Hair flapping in the wind and everything. Nice move, and that was I can't even lie to you, folks. That was an absolute ankle breaker of a cross right there by the Academy member. But shot on goal is going to clank off the post. And that was one of those right there where you can't really you can't be mad at it. That was just an absolutely beautiful move, but just not able to make anything happen with it. Now pass up here to Sandoval. Sandoval going to dump off to Campa. Campa tries to send it up forward. Ball ends up in the hands of the goalie there. Sorry, we're having some weird issues coming through our microphone. Apologize, folks. But now, again, back kind of deep in Cavs territory, and now they're going to be able to poke it out, go back towards the midline, and Allegiance going to have to rethink things, restart the offensive attack. Looking for somewhere to go. A lot of movement there just to send it right on over to the side. But, hey, trickeration sometimes works out well. And look at this. There's another big attack. Doesn't come to fruition that time, but Lenore giving Allegiance about all they could handle there on that front line. Now Legion's going to send it up forwards. I believe that was De La Torre. Sent it skyward. Ball still bouncing around. Nobody able to get to it. Campa finally able to tap it out of bounds. Jose Campa, to be exact. So it was a quick toss-in. I wasn't sure if they were just switching out the ball, but no, it is the official toss-in. So quick toss-in there for Allegiance Academy. Now they're going to play it on that far side of the field. Seems like they've had a little bit more attacking success from their right. Now going to try and one-touch it through, but well played there by the Cavs. Now going to send it back to Martinez, who's going to gather it up. Now searches for somewhere to send it. Going to bowl it out here towards the side. And kind of threw it between the two Campas there. Neither one come up to make a play on the ball. I think they were expecting each other to go and make the play. But either way, ends up going back in Academy control here. Again, they're working from their own side, but inching closer towards midfield. A little back and forth, back and forth. Nice attack there by Mata. Ends up at the feet of Lenore. Going to send it over to Garcia. Garcia trying to dribble out of the contact there, but he felt like he took a lot of contact but didn't get a foul. But there will be a foul called back over on the other end there as Sanchez got whacked and ended up falling hard to the turf. So it looks like it's going to be Lenore on the restart. He sends it in, sent back out by Allegiance. Now dribbling it around. Garcia with it, trying to find an open spot. And, just a little too far on the pass. It was a good-looking run there. Was trying to find Mata. Was diving in there from about the 20-yard line. Now Academy has their own troubles. They're going to have to play it to get it out of their corner. They do a good job of catching up to it. Now going to send it all the way across field. Campa going to try and run down and challenge. Just a little behind. Now a lot of contact. Garcia has it left foot. Banks off the post. Almost had the go-ahead goal. No call on any of the contact down on the other end either. So they're going to play through it here. Exciting couple of seconds, but nothing on the scoreboard for it. Now Academy again going to work it around their back line. Looking for somewhere to send the ball up forward. They have enjoyed sending those deep passes. So always looking for that deep pass, of course, but Cavalry not really giving them the chance. Now Sandoval going to try and run down. Oof. He was banking on that misplay. We've seen a couple of not perfect hits off the foot of the goalkeeper. So I think he was anticipating something going down, hoping for it even. Academy having trouble here getting it out of the Cavs line. Now do get it forward. Nice play there by Victor Campa, able to keep the Alliance from charging forward there. Gonna have to slow things back down here. Working around that left side, some sloppy passing, but able to corral it, keep it in front of them. Now going to try this near side of the field. And by the way, I've done a terrible job of saying this if you haven't known. Cavs in their red jerseys, Academy in these golds. Are they gold or tan, JD? What would you say?
It's gold.
It's somewhere. Gold. It's somewhere in between the two for sure. Now deep kick in here. Sandoval was working off. Looks like he got grabbed, but official just didn't quite see it down there. A lot of hand fighting, and in a foot sport, you don't expect the hand fighting to have as much of an impact. Now with it moving around, trying to find somewhere to go. And send it off here to the side. Again, that back line has spent the majority of the time for Academy with possession of the ball. Pass almost ends up out of bounds and actually does. So skips a little too far back, trying to send it backwards and find some space. Now Cavs going to try and go on an attack of their own, get the throw into Sandoval, and he's going to have to tap back to his own line. His own back line, to be exact. Ball ended up skied up in the air and in the possession again of Academy. About 18 minutes left to go here in this first half. Knotted up 1-1. Stick around at halftime. We actually had the chance this morning to go talk to Alex Aguilar, the owner, head coach of the Henderson Cavalry. Pretty interesting dude from up in Michigan. I feel bad. He's about to learn. Here, summer months are coming, buddy. You about to learn about Texas. So, but did have the chance to talk with him today as Cavs going to strike one up. Not sure what not sure if Lenore was trying to strike, get a goal from way back there. But the goalkeeper was a little bit forward, but there was nobody in the area of a pass, so it had to be what he was looking for. Sometimes those deep goals in soccer are some of the sweetest things you can see, man. Get a net minder not paying attention, not minding the net, if you will, But Academy with it, playing here at midfield, going to send it near side. Try and find somewhere to go with it. Do have to go back to that back line. Still working it around here on this back line. Now going to go for another one of those deep passes. Played well here by the Cavalry. It's a good block out there, really. Isaiah Bourion's not going to get any stats in the book for it, but did a really good job of blocking out the running Allegiance player there, as he was going to leave, or it was going to leave Martinez on an island there if Academy was able to get a hold of that ball. So really, really good job of him just eliminating the space, not allowing him to find it. Now ball going to be sent back, cleared up. Sandoval, fell down there. I was kind of worried. Fall looked a little nasty, but he got up quickly, right back to it. And Campa going to try and defend here on this this near end, but Allegiance going to send it back out to the middle. Now go back to that right side. Again, we've seen them do most of their work from the right side. Now going to try and send it forward, get it into the corner. It's good defense over there by Rodriguez, not allowing Academy to get around. Now try and send it in towards the middle, and bit of a miscommunication. I'm going to be honest. Cavs are lucky that there wasn't an Allegiance Academy member right there, because that would have been one of those little easy pluck goals, as there was nobody around. Martinez was trying to range over to get the play, but there's nobody able to get a foot on it there for a while. Do end up getting it across midfield before Allegiance kicks it out of bounds. So Campa going to be throwing in here. Throws into Garcia. Garcia looking for some space to send it to. Going to send it all the way across. Working it around now. That's Bouryon working with it down in enemy territory. It's first we've called of him trying to come down and be a contributor on offense. We've seen him be a contributor on offense. But of course, plays more of a mid-sized role, or mid-area role, whatever I'm trying to say. So I had a couple of shots on goal, neither one able to find the net. Neither one particularly close, but the good news is that the Cavs still have possession of the ball. That was a nice little move there by De La Torre. Now just kind of inching further up and up. Nobody really coming up to challenge him. Was trying to send it up to Victor Campa, but unfortunately just somebody from Academy able to stick a foot out there. But that was some sneaky work there from De La Torre.
Yeah, he just kind of took over there for a second.
Yeah. He said, well, I'm just going to inch forward and forward and forward until somebody comes to attack me. Give him a couple of chances of that at a game. I bet you he's going to make you pay for it. Now Academy again sending to that far side. Nice attack there from the Cavs, able to keep them off balance. Lenore back there really trying to work it free, so they're going to have to send all the way up to their goalkeeper, and that is another, I don't think that was quite what he wanted on that kick there out of goal, but could be wrong, but just looks like maybe a bit of a heel punch there. Now, I think Academy was trying to wind up for another one of those long kicks, but nobody ready to receive down there. So now they are just going to keep knocking it around the back line here. Again, back out to that far side. 13.5 minutes left to go here to halftime. As now they're going to have a run down that sideline. It was, penalty going to be called. Really getting, I think they're calling on Sandoval down, or no, excuse me, Sanchez down there. But it will be a free kick there, so restart it back. Again, I feel like I'm a broken record here, but Academy really comfortable on that back line. They kind of let those guys bring it all the way up to midfield, try and find the space. They've obviously got some cannons back there for legs. We've seen those deep passes throughout the night. Nice step in front there. I'm not able to quite keep it in bounds, but nice defensive play there by Mata, not allowing Academy to find any working space, and they're going to have to send it all the way back into their own territory and start over again. So press forward. Now here's another one of those deep passes. Martinez going to come up and challenge, and he does get the ball. Just kind of rolls it out to that far side. Trying to work it down there is Sanchez, and ends up passing the ball off. Now it ends up all the way back over here on this side with Victor Campa. Campa going to have to tap back to De La Torre. De La Torre trying to find some space and just has to tap over to Rodriguez at the very last moment. Good job there not to give up possession of the ball. Now going to send it into the middle with Sandoval. Sandoval sends a little one-touch over to Sanchez. Now back to the back line here for the Cavs. Now De La Torre doing his inchworm thing. Is going to send back over to Campa. Right back to him on a one-touch. Now send it into the middle. Lenore trying to find some space. Has to send back to Rodriguez. Good job there. Had 3 Allegiance Academy members converging in on him. Now, almost able to get that through pass. And again, the Cavs putting that pressure on Academy again. They're like water. If they can start finding those cracks, they usually find a way to get home. And how about this? Here's a free run. Garcia going down, and just not quite able to get there in time. But as we've seen, and I've mentioned about 85 times already, you start giving them those chances, they are going to start capitalizing.
Yeah, they're going to make it pay eventually.
All right, so back at action. Lenore going to send a bender inside. I thought it was a goal. Sanchez with the header. Hit back net. Only unfortunate part is it was the side net there. If he could sneak that in about another ball length to the right, might have been goal of the year, but missed it by that much, JD. Just that much. So all the way down to 10 minutes left in this half. Again, stick around during halftime. We'll have a rather lengthy, if we're being honest, interview with Coach Alex Aguilar. We got to talking this morning at the park and just kind of kept talking for a while. So, matter of fact, I had to cut down a few minutes to make sure it fit within halftime. So, a lot of contact here. Sandoval was trying to get to the ball down on Academy end. Ended up taking a shoulder to the chest, but it looked like it was mutual contact, so they are not going to make the call. But the ball is out of bounds on Academy, so going to have a toss in here. lots of space for Mata as he stepped up and received the ball really without much of a chance at anybody getting it. Now does lose his footing and ends up losing the ball, but they kick it over to De La Torre. So De La Torre said, hey, I'll find that. And now I'm going to creep down the sideline. And again, going to end up out of bounds. Last touch by Academy. That is De La Torre sending it in. Got a hook here, and that's got to be a penalty. Yep. So that was Jose Campa trying to get down the sideline there. Ended up taking a, I don't want to say clothesline. Wasn't really a clothesline, just kind of a hip hook there. Going to have maybe a shot opportunity. If not a shot opportunity, at least a chance to maybe try and put it in a good spot here for his fellow Cavs. It's going to be Lenore with the kick. All right. Cavs into position. Kick is up and just a little too strong there. Looked like it was maybe going to curl around the net. So it had had the perfect amount of bend, but probably just a bit too long on that one.
The ball it was out on Academy there, so
now
right here.
At least you get the corner kick to try it all over again. That is Sanchez sending it in, and he sent a high arcer. It was really a pretty good spot there, but Academy just able to win the jump off there. Now Victor Campos sends it up to Lenore, sends over to Garcia. Garcia with a nice little one-touch is able to get all the way into the corner. Now he's going to try and send one in. Sends it all the way to the other side to Sanchez. Now Sanchez trying to find somewhere to go. Gives over to Lenore. Lenore left foot. Oh, that was a great shot there by Lenore. Was all the way on the left side. Tried to go back to the right. Just not quite able to put enough mustard on it. Maybe had another MPH or two on that. Going to be able to sneak it back as the goalkeeper was all the way on the right side of the net. So Cavs here. A couple of really good shots on goal here in this late part of the first half. Now ball ends up kind of trickling off a couple of guys, and Academy has got to be taking a sigh of relief as they have not been in possession of the ball for a few minutes, and that has been all-out defense for them. So now going to try and find somewhere to go with it, and again in these late half situations, Cavs have been so good. It's a testament to how good their conditioning has been. They are.
Looks like we're going to get a penalty right there.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like it's going to go against Academy. So that'll suck all the momentum they had right out. So strike down, ends up getting through. It's going to be a fight for the ball. A couple of Cavs in the area. I believe that's Garcia was able to come away with the ball. Sends up to Victor Campa. Campa dribbling through contact. Tried to pass forward, but then Mata comes up, gets a little physical, says, all right, if we're going to be allowed to be physical, I'm going to use a little bit of my size to my advantage. Academy trying to go on a fast run. I guess you could call it a fast break. I know it's not technically a soccer term, but we're trying to break out that fast break run there, but good job by the Cavs to be able to defend it. Down to 5 minutes left to go here in this first half, pending stoppage time. Hasn't been a whole lot of stops here, so wouldn't expect too much as Lenore trying to dribble out of traffic. Now, Mata with it. Going to try and send over to the sideline. Victor, whoa, right through the defender's wickets there. Beautifully done. Nice little one-touch pass to get it over to Garcia. And I know it's pretty common in soccer, but I feel like I don't see it in my, with my own eyes right there in front of me too often. But, yeah, sent that one right through the feet there. Now Campa with it, going to send back over to Lenore. Lenore going to try left side. No, he fakes over to the left. Now going to go with the bender and just a little too high on the shot. So Lenore seeking out that go-ahead goal. He's had a couple of pretty good shots on goal tonight. Got to dial it in by a few centimeters, but, you know, him and quite a few of the other guys on this team, once they start feeling it, they can really start pouring it in. Now, ball is going to be last touched by Allegiance, goes out of bounds, and the Cavs are going to go quickly on the attack here. Sandoval with it in the corner, trying to work 1 against 2, somehow able to win it. Sends Garcia, and Garcia trying to get over across to Lenore. And the pass is going to be knocked away. So back to the back line here. I believe that is, I can't quite see who that is over on that far side. I apologize. Working it back and through. De La Torre is going to end up with it here off the pass from Rodriguez. Now going to send it forward. Garcia trying to find somewhere. Going to strike. And he noticed the goalkeeper was, again, kind of favoring that right side. Tried to go lower 90 on the bottom, or excuse me, I said the right side, the left side. I apologize. So was again working on that left side. Was trying to go bottom 90 of that right and missed it by just about 1.5 feet. Sneaky goal shot there. I think it kind of confused everybody, but again, just a little off target. So one-touch pass here from Academy, and now they've got some space to run. Now going to try and send it all the way out to that far side. Have not been in an attacking position in quite some time here, but now are going to go on the run. One touch, and immediately going to be able to, no?
It looks like there was a penalty right there before.
So they're going to say offsides, yeah. So guy on the far right that received the ball, they're going to say he was a little too far when the pass was sent. That is, of course, what the offsides in soccer is for anybody that's a layman like me. That's the one thing I do know is that you can't be behind the defense when the ball is passed to you. So now Cavs going to have an opportunity here. Only 2 minutes left here in this first half, again, pending any stoppage time. So not a bunch of time to work with, so let's see if they can keep the pressure on and try and get another goal here, as now the slide tackle is going to warrant a whistle here. Sandoval has been going through, again, a lot of physicality so far tonight. Has been bumped and bruised and knocked and all that kind of stuff, but as we know, he's a fiery competitor and a fighter. He ain't going to give up down there. So it's again going to be Lenore. See if they go with the big Ben strategy again here, or they want to try and control it a little bit. They are going to send it down towards goal, and that was a much better power judgmented shot, I guess is the way to say that. I almost said depth perception, but that's definitely not it, you know.
Adjusted for too much power last time.
There you go. Took just the right amount of mustard off of it. We'll say it that way. Now Academy, again with under a minute here, see if they can get it into attacking position. As they've looked pretty good when they're on offense, but haven't had it down there a whole lot. Now do have it in the center of the field. Going to try and send out towards the corner. Nobody. Oh, yeah. Nope. It looked like they were going to be able to run it down, but no. Just a little too late of reaching it. So Cavs going to be sending it in, but going to have to be careful here. They're going to be sending it from deep in their own territory. Going to try and get some yardage here out of the throw in, which they do. Ball ends up all the way back in Academy territory here. Again, working with this back line, passing it back and forth. I'm going to try and go into the teeth of the Cavs defense. Surrounded by red jerseys. Going to have to go back, try it again. Garcia playing the point there. Sandoval rushing in, so kind of using this two-man point tack. So we've, in games past, seen Sandoval kind of do it himself. But it looks like they're wanting to play both sides of the field. Can't blame them. Also keep percentage points more gas in Sandoval's tank as he was having to man that whole space down there by himself. Now Academy with it in a pretty good spot. One touch up, shot on goal. Nice save by Martinez. De La Torre sends it up in the air. And Cavalier's going to get out of it cleanly, it looks like. They do. They get it all the way over to the sideline there. Victor Campa with it. De La Torre last to touch it. But that is the way the first half is going to end. So we've got us a defensive battle 1-1. Now, as I said, it is a longer interview this week with Mr. Alex Aguilar. So without further ado, let's go ahead and run to it. We'll try and set up this first half, remind you about it, and tell you about the second half when we come back. But for now, let's go ahead and send it to our interview of the week with Mr. Alex Aguilar.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah.
All right, Taylor, Cedar Creek Media, getting to hang out with Alex Aguilar, the head coach. And, I mean, you've got a bunch of titles, so we'll let you go ahead and put that out there. So, of course, with the Henderson Cavalry, but, Alex, kind of tell everybody your role within the Cavalry.
Yeah, so my role, like you said, I wear a lot of hats. I really started wearing all the hats in the beginning, but from owner, coach to admin, sports equipment handler, everything, right? Fortunately, now I've had people come on where, like, my wife's handling the social media, my mom's handling all game day logistics and stuff like that. So now I just focus on, like, the overall vision of the team and scaling the team, growing the team, and then coaching it, of course.
Perfect. So kind of tell us about the vision. You know what I mean? I know you're from Michigan originally, so as you're sitting up in Michigan, you know what I mean? You kind of, or maybe you're not, but anyway, you're sitting there kind of thinking this through. Kind of tell us the process of getting a semi-professional soccer team put together.
Yeah, for sure. So the vision really came about from the love of the game, first and foremost, right? So I played a lot in Michigan. The infrastructure over there is already built, right, from the young amateur teams to the semi-professional teams to even professional teams that are now being developed in that area. And I moved here kind of as I'm a man of faith, so faith called me here, and I'm here now. And when I got here, the first thing I did was like try and figure out what the soccer scene looked like, because I love it so much. And I realized the infrastructure was kind of fragmented, right? So these kids go to high school, and then after high school, if you want to play in college, you have to leave Henderson County, sometimes even East Texas, right? Because the four-year colleges here don't necessarily compete like other four-year colleges. We have great junior colleges, but they're not 4 years, right? So everyone has to leave if you want to continue. And that's really what sparked the vision for this team. It's like, let's build something where these kids can continue at home, because finances are a factor as well, right? So some of these kids they might have the talent, they might not have the finances to live in 2-3 hours away, whether it be Houston, Dallas, or whatever, for an entire year and continue to play the sport that they love. So they fall off, right? And so that's where the vision came from. Like, let's put something together for these kids coming up. They can continue to compete at a very high level, give them exposure at a high level, and they don't have to leave home.
So, and you say kids, and there again, we got some high school guys, you got some college guys, but you got some older guys as well. So kind of tell us about the I guess requirements to be a UPSL player.
Yeah, so you basically just have to try out and make the team, right? So requirements are kind of like your basic stuff, right? Like U.S. citizen and all that type of stuff, right? But there isn't like an age requirement, but as an athlete, there's a range in which you can compete, right? So typically, if you're a fantastic 16-year-old player, you can play, but you're going to be lacking the physicality that some of these older players are going to have, right? If you are in your 30s, you might be an excellent player, but playing 90 minutes against some 20, 22-year-olds is going to be tough, right? So there's a whole range in which you can play, and if you try out for the team and you're good enough, you can play. But the sweet spot is really that college age, right, where the kids have got the experience of playing college ball already, but they're still young enough where they can run 90 minutes, right? Yeah. So it's really, age range is wide, but obviously with age comes certain advantages or disadvantages depending on which spectrum you're on.
Hey, age comes knowledge, but comes weak knees too. You know what I mean?
100%.
And man, I hope this isn't a terrible transition, but from what I understand, you were a pretty good player back in your day as well, but unfortunately had some things go wrong with your health and everything. Well, not health, but had some injuries and stuff like that. So kind of tell us, I mean, again, unfortunately, we're not going to get to see you out on the pitch. So you just going to have to tell us. So kind of tell us about the player that Alex Aguilar was.
Yeah. So, man, I was injury prone late in my career. So scaling up, whether it was, in the amateurs up until college, I was pretty good with injuries, right? If I had tweaks here, it was like a week or two and then I was back on.
Sure.
But in college, I did start having some major issues with my knees, and that put me out essentially, and then that wrapped that up. But in terms of a player, I mean, once you play college, everyone can play,
Sure.
right? So what differentiated me was the mindset, right? So I didn't really care who I was playing. You were human just like me. We go to the bathroom the same way. We put on our socks the same way. Like, you're no different than me, and I'm going to treat you as such, right? So that was really what I brought to many of my teams, was that I'm not backing down to nobody. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you've played. I don't care if you have more experience than me, if you don't. Like, we're going to go at it for 90 minutes, and whatever happens, happens. So that was the mentality that I had. That is a mentality that I'm trying to bring to this team, and that's particularly difficult because we have players from all different ranges, right? We have players that are 22 years old that are very talented, but they've been out of the competitive mindset for 2-3 years because there was nothing before Henderson Cavalry, right? So reeling them back into that mindset of like, hey, let's go. Every game starts at 100%.
All right, so the good thing, like as you said, is that there's really nothing else like what the Henderson Cavalry are doing in East Texas. So you've had kind of a wide net to be able to cast. You've got guys from Jacksonville, Tyler, Palestine, Athens, Maybank, kind of all around, plus some from out of state. So how do you kind of narrow down your search and cast that net in to be able to find those guys?
Yeah, so it started really just showing up at, like, everything has a scene, right? There's a car scene, there's the football scene, the baseball scene, right? And it was just showing up at these scenes, quote unquote, right? Where there's the futsal tournaments and all these other things. And it, honestly, because I'm not from here, I didn't have any prior connections.
Sure.
So everything was meeting people for the first time and kind of pitching them this idea, right? So it sounded absolutely crazy to a lot of people, a lot of players, really. But that's how it started. Like, I'd go to a tournament, I'd see a player that I really liked, be like, hey, would you be interested in this? Give me your phone number, give me your contact, X, Y, and Z, right? And through there, I think it just became like, okay, let me post it on social media. We're building this team. Communicate with the small amount of people that I know, whether it be from the church that I connected with when I moved here and things like that. But I can tell you that from the players that I recruited, not all of them made it. Right? Because then new players came in through the tryouts that I had never seen. And even post tryouts, more players started finding out about it, right? Because
you tried out over 100 players. Am I wrong on that?
No, that is 100%. And what's cool is that the first tryout series was like 60 players.
Okay.
But once those players came out to try out and certain players made it, and then you post about it, other players are like, hey, I know that guy. Right? I know that player. I played with him in XYZ, right? Let me reach out to him and see if there's space on the team and things like that. So then you start bringing in all these other, like the last 40 players, they came in when we were already practicing as a team. They came in as in like, give me a week trial, and we'd bring them in. And a lot of them wouldn't make it, but we would find gems.
Sure.
And we're hitting our back end of the season, and we are about to bring on a player that just came on the team. And it's one of those gems that we just happen to find that found out about the team and wants to join now. Joining late, but it's a gem you can't pass up, right? And the goal is to continue to improve the game. So it really started just talking to people, and it's grown to now our social media's gotten some sort of traction where players are finding out about it. Our players now share their stuff when they're man of the match and things like that. So now it's really, okay, other players are finding interest rather than me having to go get that interest. So it's a nice flip.
Yeah, and that's great, man. So tell us a little bit about the future. I mean, I guess that's kind of a loaded question. There's a lot of things that could be in the future. Of course, just stepping back here behind the camera. We're filming this on Sunday morning before the game. So today you guys are playing against Alliance Academy, playing for second place within your division today. I mean, it's a big deal. So just kind of tell us again a little bit about the future, because there is a relegation system in the UPSL. There is chances for growth. So what do we need to do throughout this season to continue to grow this thing to the next level?
Yeah, you mentioned it. We're playing a really tough team today, and it's really a must-win, right? It's a season-defining match, and if it doesn't go our way, we 100% will still make playoffs. There's no doubt in my mind about that. It's just the seed, right? So if we drop to third, our seed in playoffs becomes a little bit tougher. So we really want that second place, and I guess looking at growth, the first step is let's make this first season the best season possible. Let's make playoffs. Let's get as far as we can. I believe we can get promoted to the Premier Division. I wholeheartedly believe that. We just have to show up to games. And as I mentioned earlier, the mentality part is the one we need to work on. But that's step one. Step one is having a great season, and goal number one for the Cavalry is get to Premier. Once we get to Premier, then the world really opens up, and then from there, you're talking about players, like if they're getting exposure now, the exposure they're going to get at Premier is even greater. And ultimately, that's the goal, is get eyes on these young players that are talented, and let's get them like these professional contracts. Let's send them. Hey, if you're not part of the Cavalry in 2 years, I want that to be because we sent you somewhere, right? I want and come back and bring that knowledge to East Texas, right? Like that's the point. Send these players out there, play professionally. If you ask me what's the goal for 5-10 years out, I want to be a fully professional team. Like that's a crazy idea, right? But I want paid players. I want a professional team. I want the infrastructure to kind of piggyback off of what we're doing, right? And show that, okay, these young players, there is a path. Let's build the middle ground, right? Because we've built the semi-professional piece, but there's still a little gap, right? From the club teams to get to us, right? So in terms of vision and the future, there's a lot of moving pieces to it. And that's what's so exciting. And I think that's why people are slowly starting to, not just players, but like sponsors and things like that are wanting to be more a part of it, because they're so, like, I think people are seeing the potential that this could have for the sport. And ultimately, we're just another tool being used to grow the sport, and we want to partner with as many people as possible to make that vision a reality.
Perfect. All right. Well, Alex, you're a busy man, so we'll get you out of here on this one. But as for the game day experience on the fan side of things, so if I'm somebody that's never been to a Henderson Cavalry game before, I'm thinking about bringing my family on. What I'm watching here on YouTube, but maybe want to make it to a game here in a couple of weeks. So tell us about the game day atmosphere, the experience that people can expect at a Henderson Cavalry game.
Yeah, I can tell you, if you've been to any other sports game, whether it be hockey, basketball, baseball, you know it's different in person than it is watching, right? So, like, from being respectful, but yelling at the refs when you don't like a call, right? Or somebody committing a foul, or whatever it may be, like, that's part of the game day experience. And so it's awesome to be there. The players love people being there. They feed off of that energy just like any other player would. So, yeah, come out, support. We want to get people to start loving this club and start supporting it, start following it, right? Follow us on social media, Henderson Cavalry, Facebook and Instagram, and like you'll stay in touch with all of our games, all of our away games. But yeah, the game day experience is amazing. Be there, please support us. Again, the players need that energy, especially in these decisive games, especially going into playoffs. That stuff is critical. To have a corner in your back that's just rooting for you is critical for players. So,
and I lied to you. I said we were going to get you out on that one, but I got one more thing that just popped in my brain that I got to make sure that I mentioned. So, of course, you are the front-facing man of the Henderson Cavalry, but you got two really strong ladies back behind you, backing you. So, again, you talked about how your wife's a social media manager, your mom's kind of logistics, you know what I mean? But what has it meant for you to have your family to be able to back you in this situation?
Yeah, so this isn't my first rodeo at entrepreneurship, right? So I do have a marketing business and some other projects that I work on. And it's hard building anything by yourself, right? So I'm willing to say it's impossible. You can't do it, especially something that impacts people. So knowing that hey, I'm going into battle with people behind me, especially loved ones. We'll figure it out. We'll get through anything, right? So today doesn't go our way. I'm not the only one that's down. The players aren't the only ones that's down. I got people that are going to pick me up and be like, all right, the season's not over. Let's keep going, right? So sleepless nights are a thing. There's so many things that happen in the background that people don't see, right? And managing people is difficult, right? And thank God that my mom is a master at managing people. And I've outsourced the managing of volunteers and everything that has to do with logistics to her because she's amazing at that. And it's made my job so much easier because then I can just focus on the team, right? Early on, when I was trying to figure out how I was going to do this, there was no way I was going to be an effective coach and also provide a good game day experience where logistically things were going to make sense.
Sure.
Something was going to go wrong, right? So having her handle that has been amazing. I'm super grateful, but like we need volunteers too, right? Because she needs help on her side and all that sorts of stuff. So like my wife also helps on game day experience apart from like the social media piece. She's also under my mom and handling some of like the ticket booth and all that stuff that happens. So we definitely would love some volunteers. If you go to a game, take a ton of pictures, post them, tags. That's part of the social media experience is other people interacting with the team and taking pictures and tagging us in it. So you are all volunteers if you are taking pictures and tagging us, and we are eternally grateful for all that stuff.
Perfect. Well, Alex, again, we appreciate you for your time, and I guess let's get ready for a good second half here.
Let's go. Thank you.
Barks Environmental Services, located on 405 West Mason Street, provides customer service-driven experience that counts. They offer erosion control services such as rock filter dams and retaining walls, soil stabilization services like hydro seeding and sodding, as well as construction services such as land clearing and subdivision maintenance. Call Parks Environmental Services, the erosion control specialist, at 214-693-8056. And for any forestry mulching needs, call Right-of-Way Land Clearing at the same number. Again, that's 214-693-8056. Parks Environmental Services, putting it down to protect your ground.
Kylie with Double K Photography will help you never forget all those special occasions, wedding and maternity photos, as well as family and senior portraits, just to name a few. With over 5 years of professional experience, Kylie can transform your wildest dreams into reality with pricing options available to fit every budget. Contact Kylie by email to book today at hello@doubleKphotography.studio or online at www.doublekphotography.studio, where you can also see samples from Kylie's previous works and client testimonials. Double K Photography, a proud supporter of Maybank Athletics.
All right, back here for the second half of action. Got back a little bit late. Apologize about that. But you didn't miss much. Cav, you see, you said that. Apparently, I accidentally said the Cavaliers at one point. JD thankfully mentioned it to me. I appreciate that. But I almost did it again right there. The Cavalry kind of diving or starting things off. Allegiance Academy put a lot of pressure there. But no harm, no foul, and we're back to it here. Now the Cavs going to have it. Coming this other way, that is Sanchez with it down on this side. Going to tap it off to Sandoval. Sandoval going to go right back to Sanchez. And again, we like to see it. When the Cavalry start getting those horses running, they can definitely be a pain for opposing teams. So it is going to be a corner kick here. Looks like that is Sanchez over there to do the corner kicking. It's up high and batted away, but going to stay down on this end, and it was a left-footed shot there. Didn't quite get through that front line from Garcia, and now fight for it. That is, I believe that was Jose Campa over there fighting for the ball. Did hear a whistle down there. Looks like it is going to go against the Cavalry. Saw a lot of this in the first half. Academy working around on their back line. They feel good about the skills back there. And they have been pretty good tonight. Lone goal coming on a kind of a misplay, if you would, by the goalkeeper. Now shot going to go in far right of goal. Martinez didn't have to worry too much about that one. So taking a little extra time to get it all set up here. And now Martinez just going to tap it out. Rodriguez with it, trying to find somewhere to go. Sends it up to Sanchez. Fight for the ball. Looks like it's going to be won by Allegiance Academy. Kind of floating around back near that goal area, but Martinez going to be able to wander over, get a hold of it. Now he's got some pressure coming up, so he's going to have to pick it up, run it out a bit. Going to roll it out here to the side. De La Torre going to send it well upfield. Sandoval is going to win the fight for. Oh, they're going to say he was out of bounds. I don't think the ball was out of bounds. I think he made. All right, well, no. You can make contact with it. I don't know. So I guess they are going to say it rolled just past the black line there. So now Academy again, going to be working it up, trying to find somewhere in the middle. One touch ends up working out okay. Going to have to retreat a bit, but now going to look to go forward again, find a man down that far side. Sprinting and not able to get there in time. So we did see them attack mostly from their right. First real attack of the second half for them. They go left, so I'm not sure if they're just trying to fight patterns here or if that's part of the strategy. Fight for the ball around the 35-yard line. Academy going to be able to win it. Now immediately challenged again, and the Cavalry going to be able to win it, but Academy going to take it right back. Step over, shot on goal is good. So Allegiance going to be able to put on a second goal here, and we'll once again go on top of this one. Now with a 2-1 advantage. So as we've seen several times before this year, Cavalry going to have to come charging back, but the good thing is we've seen them do it several times this year.
That's right.
Goal for the Allegiance Academy.
All right, so right back to it. Kickoff went over to Mata. Now, looks like Academy a little energized by that goal. Coming up and putting a lot of pressure. Now going to have it deep in the Cavalry zone. One touch over, tries to send it inside. Now going to go back out. Garcia fighting for it. Again, a lot of contact down there, but no calls. Garcia with it, trying to snake his way through the middle of the defense. Now going to send it up to Campa. Campa one touches it up. Sandoval trying to get up into the corner. Has it. Looking for somewhere to go. Now makes a move, gets inside, and tried to pass it to the far side of the field. Looked like an Academy member was able to just get a hip into it and deflect the pass. But the Cavalry pressing here, knowing they need to pick up a goal. Got plenty of time for it, 38th minute here. As now Academy going to send it down deep. Martinez going to be in a good spot to play it. Kind of bumps it with the chest. Now going to just push it out towards the middle. Mata with it. Going to go through Was trying to fight through contact, that is, but penalty is going to be called. Martinez is going to be coming all the way up to handle it, so about 40 yards away from his posts, and just going to tap it over and retreat back into the goal. So now Mata with it, tries to put on a move, goes back towards the inside, makes a little pass. Believe that was Lenore. Yeah, Lenore sends it up forward. Little strong. Ends up in the hands of Academy again. Now they're going to try and work down this right side, bend it back into the middle. Just tapping it around. Trying to find an attacking angle. Sent back to the back line. Nice attack there by Sandoval. Doesn't quite get it away, but ruins the rhythm. And Academy ends up kind of tapping it away and bends up back in the hands of the Cavalry. God, I'm going to be thinking about it and doing it all day now. You know, whenever you're trying to not do something, like if you bite your tongue and you try to not to bite your tongue all day, and just keep doing it. All right, so Academy working with that little three-man group again, going to send it forward. Now they are going to try and work towards the middle, but Mata going to be able to step in front, take away the pass, but his pass will be immediately taken back away. So neither team able to get a full control on possession here. Now Mata going to try and go out to the right side, gets it to Lenore. Lenore going to tap back over to Garcia, gives right back to Mata. Mata trying to find some space to advance the ball, gets up to Campa. Campa with a nice move inside. Does lose the ball eventually. A lot of fighting going on here in this midfield area. Haven't seen much of that. It's been really just a battle of who can be in a scoring position so far tonight. Now here near side, Academy trying to find their angle. Some fancy footwork here to get to the outside. One touch pass back. Now again trying to get back on the inside. Sandoval. It was a lot of contact, for being honest, but doesn't look like there's going to be any whistle. So play continues on. They got it down into the corner. Now has to reverse course and reverse back. Now that contact is going to be called. Looks like that's Campa down over there. I believe that's Jose. It's going to get the call. Nope, it was Victor. Apologize. Now Academy. Oh, had the quick shot trying to put it in the upper half of the goal there. Martinez able to get just enough of the ball to kind of tip it up over the posts. But he is the last one to touch it, so it is going to be a corner kick here for Academy. Defense taking their positions. It looks like we do. Do we have a substitution? Yeah, it looks like Mata is going to be coming out. Corner kick went in, but whistled immediately, so I don't think they were quite ready. With Mata coming out, it looks like it's going to be number 28. Yes, number 28, Kevin Rodriguez, coming in to fill the spot. All right, so here we go again on this corner kick. They're going to kick it short this time. Then try and play it back a little bit, find some space, and trying to get it up over the head. It looked like it was going to be too much, but it ends up just dying up in the air there in a good spot. And a great job there by Martinez to come out aggressively and defend his goal. Work is not done. Academy still has it down on this end, but they are going to have to pass back to their back line and restart the attack here. So great job there by Martinez, but now have a man streaking down, and it's going to be an offsides penalty. So it looked like Academy might have another good run, but the offside penalty negates it. Now going right back. Academy was able to win the ball back. Now again, going to have a run at the goal. I believe that's Lenore. Oh, no, excuse me. That's Rodriguez down there fighting. Is going to end up knocking the ball out of bounds. So we will have another corner coming up here. Or no, excuse me. Didn't go out the back line. I thought it went out the back line, went out the side. So it's going to be a toss in. And immediately going to be headed right out of bounds there by Rodriguez. Inches Academy back about 15 yards or so, though, so it gives a little bit more defending space. Ball ends up all the way back with Sandoval, and he's got a lot of green grass in front of him. He's going to one-touch it over to Garcia. Garcia trying to win the foot race and able to come up and make the play there is the Academy goalkeeper. Sanchez almost able to make a second run at it. Touched it, but not able to fully control it. And Allegiance Academy just going to kick it out of bounds. So toss in here for Bourillon. Ends up with Sandoval. Now Lenore with it, trying to find some space. Going to give over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez on the run up the middle. Going to pass up through to Sandoval. Sandoval gives right back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez curls back around. And Academy going to end up winning the ball. Golly. Every time I listen on YouTube, I don't hear it, but it's crackling in our ears, JD. Microphone's acting crazy over here. So again, Allegiance Academy working with the back line. And again, we're looking for that deep pass. Going to have to settle for one shorter back into the middle. Do have some space. Now going to try and send it forward. Martinez able to step up, capture the ball here. Just going to roll it off to Isaac Rodriguez. So we do have two different Rodriguez. That just clicked in my brain. So you got a couple of Campas and a couple of Rodriguez's down there. So speaking of Campa, that was a nice little one-touch over to Lenore. Lenore with a lot of space, trying to find somewhere to go. Puts it up through. Sandoval. Oh, it was the right thought, wrong spot. But again, Cavalry able to find some weak points here in this Allegiance Academy defense. We know they're good at seeping through those cracks, attacking what they have found out. So now, again, back at about the mid-pitch area. I have to send it back into their own territory. Again, going to be working off that back line. Now send it all the way over here near side. Kind of a slow trot, trying to find somewhere to go. Going to bend it himself back in the middle, but loses his handle. Nice job there by Garcia. Just able to kind of step up, put a foot in the way, and immediately end what could have been a decent-looking threat there. Again, work not done as the last touch was by Garcia. Looks like we are going to have a substitution. That is one of the Campas. Is it 20 or 30 over there, JD?
I believe 20 coming off.
20, all right. So Victor coming off. We've got somebody else coming on. I'll get to him here in just a second. Can't quite see the number as of this moment. So, but back to it here, and I think there's going to be a handball. Yeah, handball going to be called against Allegiance. Just kind of bounced up in an awkward spot. Really wasn't much he could do with it there, to be honest. So it is going to be Martinez kicking things back off here, down in deep in that left corner. Sends one up, ends up flying out of bounds. They're going to say, where are they saying it crossed at? So going to be around the midfield area. And tap it back here to the goalkeeper. He's going to immediately send it back over here near side. Work it back over to the inside. That was a nice win there for Kevin Rodriguez. Now going to send it back to his own back line. Borjan had it, but Academy able to step up, win the challenge there. Now going to try and work it back into the middle here, deep in Cavalry. God dang it. Cavalry territory. Oh, it's burnt in my brain. Got to get rid of it. Again, been a defensive battle here so far. Score that 2-1, as you see on your screen. Now, a little weak shot on goal, but almost turned in. I thought it was a shot on goal, but I think it was actually a pass there. Ended up looking pretty dangerous there for Henderson County, but able to get out of it squeaky clean. And now I'm going to try and flip the field here, clear the ball out to the other side. Rodriguez having a fight to do it. Here's Sanchez with it, kicks up to Sandoval. Sandoval going to one-touch it right back to Sanchez. Sanchez has some space, slows it down, trying to find somewhere to go, sends back towards the middle, was trying to get it over there to Lenore. And now that is all the way on the other side. That was the man that had just came in. That is number 2, Kevin Alvarado. That's the first chance I got to see the back of his jersey there. So it was Alvarado that had came in for Campa. Now De La Torre with it, gives up to Garcia, and Garcia going to have to tap back to Borjan. Borjan sends over to Sanchez. Sanchez trying to find some space, going to have to go right back to Borjan. Borjan with a nice little move, able to work down the sidelines before he is fouled. So had a couple of guys there. Both of them looked like they might have had a handful of short. I guess you can't really say short non-plural. I guess you just have to say shorts. So Borjan going to be restarting things here. At least for the moment. Nope. Looks like Lenore actually going to step over. Take that over. Sends it with the left foot. Good strike. Ball up in the air. Campa trying to get to it. Sandoval and Campa both able to get a piece of the ball, but still in the attacking zone here. Just weren't quite able to get it to go the direction they wanted to. Now Lenore with it. Does a good job of using his body, getting around a defender. Going to the middle. Now going to strike. Again, we've seen that a few times tonight, just not quite able to get all the mustard he wanted on it. So shot on goal is there, but again, Academy's done a pretty good job of avoiding the straightforward goal. One goal so far coming for the Cavalry. Coming on that kind of misplay. And, speaking of misplay there, Martinez tried to just tap it forward. Academy able to get a pretty good shot on goal there, but just over hit. It ends up flying over the top of the back post, but Martinez knows he just got away with one right there. Going to have to go back defensively. That was a great job there by Rodriguez. Isaac Rodriguez, to be exact, to be able to tap it back out. Nice slide tackle here again by him. Great defense here by Isaac Rodriguez. One-man army back there right now. Now ball floating around. Nice challenge. Garcia almost able to win it. Still deeping this in. Left foot cross. Too strong, too high for Academy. Had a pretty good looking chance at a goal there, but again, this is a game of feet and millimeters or centimeters, whatever you want to say, and that one just had a few too many of them. So now it looks like the Cavalry trying to quickly attack on the other end, but Sandoval thinks he was fouled, but officials don't agree, so Academy going to go right back to their attack mode here. Working with it in the middle. Just kind of sending it forward and back. Now going to have to send back to almost the back line. Wasn't quite the back line. Now going to try and get it up forward. Martinez going to range over. Scoop it up off the turf. And now he's going to try and send it deep. I think the pass ended up a little left of where he wanted it to go, but good job there by Sandoval and Rodriguez, able to dig it out. And now Cavalry going to have a chance at it. Pass over is to Rodriguez. Sandoval with it with the one touch. Leonore ran it down. Sends up over to Campa. Jose tapped it out to Alvarado. Now the ball up in the air. Going to end up in the hands of the goalkeeper back there. Hard to miss that goalkeeper back there for sure, JD.
Yeah, highlighter pink back there.
Sick uniform, but boy, I don't know.
Talk about sticking out like a sore thumb.
It would make my eyes hurt wearing it, I feel like. You know what I mean? It's so bright that I feel like after a while, looking at myself, my eyes would just start hurting. Now here is a deep pass down into the Cavalry end. Well played there by Del Torre, just sending it out of bounds. Let the rest of his group get back into position here before they have to defend close to their own net. In the 21st minute here of the second half, Cavalry going to have to find a goal here, try and even this thing up. Ball did end up out of bounds again. I believe they're saying last touch by Academy. Yep. So down on the run, trying to work the far side here are the Cavs. Nice little one-touch pass over. Lenore has it, tries to get to Alvarado. And just not quite enough mustard that time from Lenore trying to send it up forward to Sandoval. And Sandoval had a lot of open turf behind him if he was able to get that. So again, Academy going to work it from far to near side. Again, we did see them predominantly use their right side when they were attacking in the first half. Been a little bit more of a spread out mix here in the second half. Lenore with it. Going to tap over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez couldn't quite keep it in front of him. So Academy going to go back in possession here. Again, going to work back towards the middle. Going to be satisfied, kind of hanging around that mid-line until somebody comes up and challenges. Sandoval says, I will oblige. Now trying to work it in. Rodriguez just steps in front of a pass, going to be able to wrestle it away. Sends over to De La Torre. De La Torre sends it up forward. Campa, one touches over to Lenore. And again, just too many Academy members right there. Just not able to get through the group. Rodriguez, again, able to win. So it's kind of been what it is. Their defenders going back and forth, taking it off of whoever has it on the foot for either side. Now Lenore with it. Sends over to Campa. Campa going to touch it up. Now has it back with him. Going to send in and didn't quite get it as close, I think, as he wanted to, but Sanchez was able to win it before it is tapped away. Borjan now with it, about 30 yards deep, and is going to be tackled from behind, and that will be a penalty. Isaiah Borjan looks like he's in a little bit of discomfort down there. Looks like we've actually got an Academy player as well. Needing to be stretched out a bit. Official also pulling a yellow card out of his pocket, so looks like we may get a card, and it looks like Borjan might need some assistance. So tell you what, while they're working on him, let's take a short break. We'll be right back after this.
For nearly 30 years, years, Carrie Harris Satellite has been the Lake area's trusted satellite and internet retailer by putting the customer and their needs first. And we here at Cedar Creek Media can attest to that. I'm JD Byrd with Cedar Creek Media, and we're not just partners, we're customers of Carrie Harris Satellite, and can't recommend him and his friendly team highly enough. Stop by Carrie Harris Satellite in Athens today and ask how they can get you set up with Dish, Spectrum, Starlink, Boost Mobile, and more at 103 La Costa Street in Athens, or call 903-677-9522. Again, that's 903-677-9522.
Jeff Van Horn and his team at Precision Spray Foam want to help you protect your investments and potentially lower your energy bill with a new layer of insulating spray foam for your home, barndominium, or metal building. Why choose Precision Spray Foam? Because they can help deter moisture, improve comfort and air quality, and provide extra strength to your building for years to come, all while being environmentally friendly and cost effective. Jeff and his team make installation a breeze and can retrofit for any need. Call Precision Spray Foam today at 903-880-6323. That's 903-880-6323 for your free estimate today. Precision Spray Foam, part of the Van Horn Construction family and proud supporter of Maybank Athletics.
All right, so yellow card was assessed to Academy. I believe it was to number, I think I saw 32.
I think it's at 67, the other one that was.
Was it 67?
Down on the ground.
I saw him talking to another guy as well, so I wasn't exactly sure who the penalty was assessed on, but I do know it was assessed on Academy. So nothing comes out of it here for the Cavalry, and a miscommunication there between Academy. Ends up sending the ball well out of bounds with no players around. Ball high up in the air now. Campa trying to go back and collect it, but just a little too much for him. Now, well, maybe not too much for him, but a little too much height is what I meant. Now, we do have an Academy player down on the ground as well. Rodriguez stopping to help him up. Like to see some sportsmanship. Now Academy with a nice little touch over, but Martinez going to be able to range over, get in front. Bowled it out, went to Borjan. Now Rodriguez with it. Kevin trying to find somewhere to go. Sends over to Sanchez. Sanchez one touches it back to Garcia. Now Garcia sends it over to Lenore. Lenore going to send it over to the sideline with Campa. Campa trying to go inside. Touches it back to Garcia. Right back to Campa. So here we go. Got a little bit of a run going. Sandoval had it, but looks like he might have taken a knee to his knee in the process there. So he is kind of walking a little gingerly down there, but I think that's what happened. He was trying to come out and win the ball out of the pile there. Does look like we're going to have another substitution, as it looks like this time it'll be Jose Campa coming off. And again, over on that far side, couldn't quite see who it was that came in for him. But Lenore has it. Sends over to Sandoval. Sandoval to Garcia. Right over to Sanchez. Now Sanchez trying to find some space on that left side. Sends inside and just a little too strong. But Cavalry still with it. Nice strike there. Doesn't quite come to fruition, but a good-looking shot there. And another good shot. But, hey, the shots are starting to look better. Neither one of them able to find home. But again, when these guys start striking, they can be very, very dangerous. From what I can see here, it looks like the substitution that had came on for Campa is D'Alessandro Soto. Number 29, D'Alessandro Soto. Looks like we've got another Academy member down, and they are calling for Miss Brianna, the trainer here. Let's tell you what, let's While they're checking him out, let's take a short break. Be right back here.
Hey, Mom and Dad, what's one of the most overlooked safety features in a car? Everyone checks for seatbelts, turn signals, and airbags, but when's the last time you checked your son or daughter's tire tread? K&S Tires and 7 Points cares about your family's automotive safety and offers a full line of quality tires installed by a team of experts to help give you peace of mind as your loved ones drive to work, school, or run errands around town. Stop by K&S Tire today, just south of the light in 7 Points, and let them help keep your family safe on the roadways all year long. K&S Tires, great tires at wholesale prices.
Golden Chick's new Golden Bowl is so big, it's a whole lot of yes and a whole lot of yum. So if you like big bowls, and we cannot lie, the new loaded mashed potato bowl is a whole lot of Golden Chick, a big bowl you can't deny.
All right, so Legion's player was able to get up, kind of hobble off, but he was able to hobble in his own power. So, but one thing that has these couple of rough plays over the last few minutes have done is really ate into the clock. Now all the way down, only 12 minutes remaining here in this ball game. So Cavalry at this point are going to have to start pressing. Time to empty the tanks, and again, something to keep in mind. These guys also just played on Friday. So they had a game Friday night as well, and not a early start at that. I think that game started at like 7:45.
Phew.
So these guys have played a lot of soccer in the last 48 hours. Now they got a pass through the front line, but unfortunately gets through the entire line and ends up back with the goalkeeper there. So Academy going to reset it and restart. Going to be tacking down that far side, able to spin around, got through the defense. Now pass going to be up front even more, and that is a great job there by Isaac Rodriguez. Able to use that closing speed he has, run down the attacker there, and ended up throwing the timing off the play completely. Shot on goal ended up not being really anywhere close. It does set up a corner here for Academy. Coming set here. Still using up some time. Now, I don't believe that is exactly what he was wanting. I think he was wanting that pass to be a little bit further out, maybe on about the 15-yard line. It was a little bit flat. So it kind of threw off the timing of things, but they are able to win it back. But Cavalry, with some stout defense, able to take it right away. Now Lenore with it up in the middle. Kind of bouncing around. De La Soto has it. Gives right back to Lenore. Now Lenore going to take some heavy contact right around the center area of the field. Right in that Maybank logo. I think Academy not exactly satisfied that the contact on one end is not called and it is called on the other end. Valid gripe, but not valid enough,
Well, at the same time, there's mutual contact, and then there's taking and just running through somebody. That's not exactly there's nothing really mutual about that.
That is very true. Now, Sanchez has it on the left side, gives up to the middle. Now Sanchez with it again. One touch back, trying to find somewhere to go. Lenore, shot ends up ricocheting off the foot of an Academy member there. Bourillon had to play it back deep. Two-man game. There's actually no Martinez is going to be able to come up and make the play, but going to have to quickly get back to his own goals. He ran about 50 yards up there to help defend on that play, and then right back on the other end, Rodriguez, who again has been playing so well back defensively, just kind of has a mind gaff there, sends the ball out of bounds with no red jersey really around where he sent it. It's a quick toss back. It's actually in a pretty good zone. Sandoval over here looking to maybe attack. It was a good job there by the goalkeeper to keep his nerve, get the ball out where he wanted to go. Sandoval again trying to make a break on that ball. If there is any kind of lazy pass or anything like that on this back line, Yael Sandoval is more than happy to go back there and pick your pocket. Now Academy trying to find a run at goal here. Going to be working on that far side. Send it back towards the middle. Now going to have to work back out towards the sideline. Back line with it. Lenore gave a little bit of chase. Now is going to come up, challenge the ball again, it looks like. And he is just going to try and keep him from sending to that back line, but as soon as that's pretty good passing there by Academy, realizing right where Lenore was and just doing a pretty good job of playing monkey in the middle there. Now Academy having to try and play it out towards the sideline, was tapped out of bounds. I believe that was Alvarado over there. Making them have to reset. Toss in here on the sideline. It's going to remain on the sideline. Now they're going to try and work back towards the middle of the field and send it all the way back across. Going to that more comfortable right-handed attack for Academy now. Going to work back in here towards the middle. Again, using that back line. Nice move to get through. One-touch pass. Now send it back out to the outside. Looked like a player might have tripped there trying to get a run down. That is going to give the Cavalry a chance here. Sanchez is going to have it on this near sideline with a lot of space. They were wanting him to push it a little bit more. The crowd wants somebody to do something. All the way down to 6.5 minutes to go here. So again, Cavalry going to have to go into all-out press mode here pretty soon. We'll have a little bit of stoppage to add on to it. And might have a little bit more than average just based on the slowdowns here in the second half, but not a whole lot of time remaining here. There is a infraction there by Allegiance. They're going to say free kick here. It's going to be Bourillon handling the duties. He's going to strike it down into the middle. A little over Lenore's head, but oof. I was going to say Cavalry able to get it back, but that one touch there by De La Soto didn't work out quite the way he wanted to. Now, I believe Rodriguez, Kevin Rodriguez, going to be assessed the yellow card. Stuck a big leg out there. Initiating a lot of contact down in that attacking zone. So that is going to give Academy a free shot at it here. Cavs building their wall. Time continuing to tick, tick, tick off the clock here. Now the rip is going to be too high. Ends up going through the field goal post. Would have been good for 3, but not good for 1 there, JD. You're supposed to laugh at my joke there. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so here we go. Back to the run. De La Torre going to send it well upfield. Now Sandoval, that was a good job trying to play it back, but now going to be a penalty. It's going to be assessed to Academy, so going to have another free shot at it here. Try and get it all the way over to the sideline to Sanchez. That time, looked like Sanchez might have just outran it by a bit. Now send into goal. Again, Sandoval just creeping ever closer. If you make a mistake, Yael Sandoval will make you pay. Now he's going to go back into that position, just kind of floating around the ball. Nice attack there, or Nice defensive attack, at least, for the Cavalry. Now, it doesn't work out for them. Now, pass is going to get away from Academy, but they are able to wrangle it back in. And now we'll shoot it out of bounds. I think he was Academy player was expecting his teammate to get down that sideline a little bit quicker. Didn't get exactly what he wanted out of it. But now there is going to be fight again along the sidelines. Academy just going to have to kind of dump it out. So Cavs going to have to reset. They're going to toss it way over. That is De La Torre with it. He's going to try and send it up forward, but going to be rejected there by Academy. So they're going to keep it down on this half of the field. 2.5 minutes left to go here in regulation. So again, Henderson going to have to do some work here, get it back on this other end. Academy going to try and make a run down the other side. That was a great job there by Sanchez. Oh. No, okay. Thought they were going to say Sanchez with too much contact, but that was thought pretty well played, and they agree. So penalty going to be assessed to Academy. Now going to send it up forward here are the Cavalier. Golly, the Cavalry. I don't want the game to be over, but I'm glad this game's almost over so I can get that out of my head. As unfortunately, that is unwell timed on my part. As Academy able to put an insurance goal up. So that will now make it a 3-1 advantage.
Goal by Allegiance Academy.
By Allegiance. So at this point, all that whole pedal to the metal stuff I was saying, well, you're going to have to open the NOS bottle now, you know. And right at about a minute left, and they're taking some time to get back over and get this reset. Again, we'll have some stoppage time. Sandoval standing on the ball like, come on, let's go. I think when the officials realized how little time there was, they kind of turned over and told Academy, hey, let's get this going. Got to give them a chance. So under a minute now. And official whistle so we can restart it. De La Torre going to send the Hail Mary up. And somehow Henderson going to be able to come out with it all the way on this other end, but Garcia is going to be fouled. So it could set up a little drama here. Let's see what happens. Unfortunately, I have to bring it all the way back up to about the, what did you say, 27, 28, somewhere in there?
Somewhere in there.
Also get my
We'll call it the
practice in for
27 and a
football.
half.
Yeah, there we go. So regulation time now officially over. We're into stoppage. So only a few moments remaining here for the Cavalry to try and make something happen as the shot by Sandoval is well off target. That ball, I mean, I don't know what that was. I mean, it looked like at first off the foot it was going to be pretty good, but then it started almost having like a backspin and started rising again. That was, I don't know. You have to smoke a ball to make it do that kind of movement. So Academy just kind of slowly playing it out here. Now sends up. Cavalry trying to find a place to go and take it from. Academy now going to send it back to their goalkeeper. Sandoval pretty much threw caution to the wind, just starts sprinting right at the goalkeeper there. Like the idea. Unfortunately, doesn't net the result that he wanted. Oh, well, unfortunately now Academy going to be able to push it all the way down into Henderson territory. Rodriguez turns around and kind of boots it, doesn't make it very far. And now an Academy player just going to fall over trying to put on some moves. Now Henderson going to try and move it up, and they have it, trying to get down that sideline. De La Soto, just unfortunately unable to keep that possession there. Was looking like they might be able to stretch that defense and get behind. Now ball going to be cleared well up front. Academy gets it into the corner. Stop, reverse field. De La Torre able to win the fight there. Gets it, trying to move up the sidelines, push it forward. Now more contact. That is going to go against Academy. It's like man down on the pitch. That's Garcia, but he's able to pop up. Looks like he'll be able to finish this one out. Going to be Soto kicking it back off here. Lenore got the touch, tried to send it over. And that is the way it's going to finish. So, unfortunately, that is going to slip Allegiance Academy up into that second spot in the Texas North Blue Conference. So Cavalry going to have to do a little bit more work as they are getting ready for the playoff season coming up here. And not super duper close, but here in the next few weeks, playoffs will be getting underway. And so they're going to have to battle a little bit harder to keep going on through those playoffs. Again, this match had a lot of seeding implications, but that doesn't mean the season's over. It just means you got to do a little bit more heavy lifting here. So,
That's right.
Well, final from here at Panther Stadium in Maybank, Allegiance Academy 3, your Henderson Cavalry 1. Again, didn't go quite the way you wanted to for your Cavalry, but again, showed that you can play against some of the best teams in your conference, division, whatever you want to say, and have a pretty good game. Again, first-year club here. They're kind of getting their things figured out, getting it all put together. They play well as a team, just going to have to keep continuing to get better and better and better, and that's what this is all about. It's a developmental league and that kind of thing. So that's already the name of the game. That just means you got to go back and do it a little bit more, JD.
That's right.
Well, all right. So for Cedar Creek Media, I'm Taylor Honea.
I'm JD Byrd.
We appreciate you being here with us today. We will catch you next time the Cavalry are in town here in a few weeks. We'll release all those details, get you links, all that kind of stuff as we get closer to it. You folks have yourself a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you next time.
This concludes tonight's broadcast on Cedar Creek Media. Thank you for watching. We hope you'll join us again soon.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.